So what could bring a sitting Congresswoman to tears right on Capitol Hill? We're about to break down the powerful story behind this one single photograph that basically stopped Washington in its tracks. Let's get right into it. Okay, so check this out. On September 2nd, this photo of Congresswoman Nancy Mace just goes completely viral. She's leaving a closed-door meeting, she's visibly distraught, and of course, the immediate question on everyone's mind was, what on earth happened? When reporters on the scene ran up and asked her what was wrong, she was just too overwhelmed to speak. It was only later, on social media, that she explained she'd just had a full-blown panic attack. And this had nothing to do with politics. For Congresswoman Mace, what happened inside that room was deeply, deeply personal. And she was incredibly open about it, directly connecting her really physical, gut-wrenching reaction to her own experience as a survivor of assault. This wasn't just her feeling sympathy for them. No, this was her reliving the immense pain and the fight that victims have to go through. So let's just put all the pieces together here. Mace was in a closed-door meeting, and she was listening to testimony from victims of Jeffrey Epstein. The stories just became so overwhelming for her that she had to get up and leave. And this brings us to the bigger picture. Who exactly were these victims meeting with, and why now? So get this, there were 6 of Epstein's victims on Capitol Hill. They were there for a private 2-hour meeting with the House Oversight Committee to share their stories. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson laid out 3 really clear goals for this whole investigation. First up, to uncover the full, horrifying truth of Epstein's crimes. Second, to really understand the systemic failures that allowed this to happen in the first place, so it can never, ever be repeated. And finally, to answer the really painful question of why, and these are his words, justice has been delayed for these ladies for so very long. The scale of this whole thing is just staggering. The committee just released over 33,000 documents to the public. But, releasing a mountain of files is one thing. Agreeing on what they actually mean, that's another story entirely. Because almost immediately after those documents dropped, the political battle lines were drawn. On one side, you had Republican Speaker Mike Johnson promising maximum transparency to expose all of Epstein's evils. On the other side, you had top Democrat Robert Garcia, who basically countered that, hey, most of this information was already public, and demanded the release of the full, unredacted files. And then, to add another wild layer to the debate, Congresswoman Mace came out and framed Donald Trump as a hero in all this, saying he had banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago and even cooperated with federal investigators years ago. But while the politicians were all debating, the victims themselves, they tried to cut through all that noise with a simple but really powerful message. One of the victims, Jess Michaels, she just put it so plainly. She said this isn't about politics, it's about courage. She called for everyone to work together, saying that stopping child sex trafficking, well, that should unite everybody, no matter what party they belong to. Which leaves all of us with the huge central question that still hasn't been answered. What does true justice for these victims actually look like? Is it about total transparency? Is it more prosecutions? I mean, what do you think? Let us know your thoughts on what real justice means in this case. Write down in the comments below. And hey, if you appreciate explainers that get to the heart of the story, make sure you like this and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you for the next one.